this might be a little bit hard to see. I've assembled the front brake backing plate, and I wanted to show you this little tab right here on the speedo drive. I've greased it all up already, that's why I thought it might be hard to see. But it's all gooped up with grease in there, and there's a little tab on the drive gear on either side. And you just have to make sure that when you put this backing plate in, that it fits in the coinciding groove that's on the hub. So when you put those two pieces together, make sure that those tabs are in this groove, okay? I'll do some more wheel assembly in just a second. So here's a axle assembly that isn't exactly common, and it's on the SL350. You can see that the axle actually goes onto the wheel and gets tightened first. On the right side of the axle there's an access hole, and you're to drop a solid bar or a screwdriver in there to hold on to the axle, and then you tighten the axle on the brake hub side, and you crank that down tight before you actually install it onto the motorcycle. And the lower fork clamps hold that whole mechanism in place, and I'll show you a little bit. There's a safety issue that you need to know when you bolt this wheel up to the fork lowers, and I'll get to that in just a second. Here's the safety issue I wanted to bring up to you. Hondas in particular, on these lower crescents that hold on the front wheel, they look symmetrical, but the reality of it is that the front is slightly longer than the rear. Make sure that you have it so the long part is in the front and that you tighten the front bolt first. That's the way Honda designed it, and that's the way it needs to be. If you were to split the two gaps, you could very well fracture this crescent-shaped holder and do yourself great bodily harm when that thing breaks. So, long to the front, tighten the front first. When you put the torque arm, brake torque arm on, use Loctite. Anytime I have brake systems or something that could fail, that could be catastrophic, I make sure I use the red Loctite so that thing doesn't come off. So that's it for now. I've got just a couple little bit more things to do before I get to the motor assembling the bars, but essentially right now we have a rolling chassis, and I have a lot less parts on my bench than what are on this motorcycle now, so we're in really great shape. I'll do the bars tomorrow and then finish the rolling chassis so I can steer it and tie it down, and then get on to the motor detail. So what's left to do essentially are the bars and instruments, motor detail, and paint job. So I am past that 50% mark right now.